I'm very happy to be here. There's been a lot of controversies for some time now, and the reason why I'm actually online today, I want to apologize for my long absence online. I've been having to attend to some issues that are um, basically all right. So let me know if you can see me. Good afternoon. Okay, so I've been having a lot of activities to do today, and that is why I've not been around for a very long time. So if you're seeing this live video, I want to apologize for not being around for a while. I've been very busy, and I needed to ensure that all of my real estate investor get value for what they've paid for. So I've been on site. I've been doing a lot of um, due diligence, documentation, allocations, and the likes. So I want to quickly apologize for my long absence, and I promise to stay online as much as I can. And very quickly, I am going to be addressing some important things. Basically, I know you guys will agree to me with me basically that I really don't talk about brands. I don't mention brands, but I think this matter has gone way off the roof and is all over the internet. Um, the very dark man has responded. Some few social media, activists has responded, and this obviously is a call of concern, and that is why I'm actually talking about this today. And basically, I actually tagged today's video as Scott Iguma versus Pwan Real Estate Limited. What actually went wrong, and should real estate investors be worried? And so this is where I'm going to start by analyzing some things. Basically, the intention is not to talk much about this, but I will be exposing a whole lot of things to real estate investors. Thank you for everybody that is joining this live session. I really appreciate you. Please, you can also share this broadcast. Okay. Um, Thank you, Mr. Rawat. It's like seeing you here. Of course, you can drop a comment. Let us know where you're joining this live session for, and we'll be so glad. So at the moment now, the information we have basically is that Mr. Scott has been arrested by P1, and yes, no, switch over. And basically, what I have now, the information I have basically right now, is due to the fact that the case obviously is way beyond control, and it's automatically on. Sit down. So, and a lot of people have been making concerted efforts to see. So we are also monitoring the situation just to know how things have gone. And of course, I will be relating some of these things to other things that you need to know. So, for some of us might be wondering, in case you don't know him, Mr. Scott Iguma is a social media enthusiast, one of the most powerful social media activists in Nigeria. And for some of you who must have been watching his video, you will agree with me that his videos have been helpful. Um, Although I honestly don't agree to everything, more importantly in the area of pricing and the value of properties, I am of the opinion basically that if he has done a wider consultation, I believe that some things would have been clearer to him. But that obviously is not the bone of contention for today's live session. So I'm going to be discussing what actually transpired between Scott Iguma and the management of P1, and I'm also going to be telling you what is happening and what are the likelihood that a resolution may not be reached anytime soon. And of course, I'll also be keeping you, abreast with the development of things. And so, for some of us who have been online, you'll agree with me basically that Mr. Scott has been calling out P1. He has, been proving some informations online, and you know there are a lot of allegations that he has raised against P1. Yes, there are a lot of allegations that have been raised, against P1. And of course, according to um, some of the videos we have seen, he has been showing evidences. And and of course, you will agree that the management of P1, of course, the group manager of P1, that's Mr. Dr. Umumiri, publicly made an apology video, and he promised, that the situation, will be sorted, that investors who are aware or who are affected by some of the allegations that was raised by Mr. Scott will be adequately, you know, attended to. So I would say basically that ever since that apology video has been made, it seems that the situation went from bad to worse, and Mr. Scott has come outline. Okay, for most of us have access to this video, where he said that some management of P1 are looking for his locations, and that his life is under threat. And I've seen, of course, I believe we all have seen that video, allegedly by him, and he has been invited, several times for him to have a conversation with them. And there was a particular time he had to go to the police station, one of the police station, for them to have, and according to them, they could not reach an agreement, and he was insisting in some of his videos that he has been threatened, according to him. And the information we have present right now is that he's currently arrested, and is under detention until next week, Monday. So, like I said, we are following the situation, and we would adequately, keep you abreast, because this is actually an interesting. Now, the question basically that is being thrown at me basically is that the allegations that Mr. Scott has raised, are these allegations true? Are these things really, really happening? What has been happening, in the Nigerian real estate? Should real estate investors be worried, or what exactly is the thing? So today I'm going to be doing a critical breakdown of what has transpired. Basically, this is not just generally applicable to just P1, and I'm not just going to say this is what has happened, this is what is happening between P1 and him. Basically, I'm going to be doing a breakdown of how a real estate investment can go wrong. I'm going to be doing a breakdown, and the reason why I'm going to be doing this video basically is due to the fact that I have been a victim of real estate scam. So I won't say because of the fact that I make videos, I have not experienced it. There are different instances that I personally have bought one land and have paid 4 times, for that same land. So I can categorically tell you that I've learned a lot. And there were some things that were not known to me as at that time. And trust me, when some things happen to you, you get to learn, the hard way. So basically, I'm fully, aware, okay, of most of these things that is happening, and I can categorically tell you that. So I'm not here to affirm if the allegations is right, or if the allegation is baseless. If the allegation, of course, I am not in any position to agree or disagree. Okay, that obviously is not even the entire focus of today's video. But basically, what we are going to be doing basically is to explain to you how a real estate transaction can go wrong. So I'll be giving some things. Now, a lot of people have asked me, should real estate investors, should they be worried? People who are buying lands in Nigeria, does this call for panic? Of course, just watch this video to the end, and I'll be releasing subsequent videos. Okay, this is why you have to follow me if you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook. This is why you have to follow me, because I'll be dropping updates. Okay, and if you're coming across this channel, welcome. Thank you very much. I'm glad to have you. In case you have not subscribed to this channel, you should subscribe to this channel so that you can have adequate information on some of this. So what actually went wrong, or how can a real estate transaction go wrong in Nigeria. So I'm going to be doing a general breakdown. Okay, so I'm not here to say whether Pwan is guilty or whether Scott is right. I am not a judge. I am not a law enforcement agent. I believe that the appropriate government authorities will launch their own personal, investigations, and of course, I believe they will come, to conclusions of who is guilty and who is not guilty. So I'm not passing any judgment, and the reason why I had to use P1 in this video is due to the fact that it is a case between Scott and P1, and of course he is the one that is making this challenge. Of course, if you have been following my videos, I don't talk about companies, but I'll be talking about how a real estate investment can go wrong in Nigeria. Now, basically, I did a video where I was talking about real estate fraud in Nigeria. This is not to say P1 is guilty or P1 is fraudulent. No, the video is not actually talking about that, but basically I'm just doing something like a general so I've made videos about fraudulent activities in real estate, some things you need to know as a real estate investors. We have several cases of bad real estate investments, mostly by people who bought without understanding the history of those companies. So I have some that I'm presently managing, and to the glory of God, we've been able to resolve some, and we are still on some. Now, let me also quickly state is that some of these investments were not deliberately done by me. They are real estate investors who have been following my videos and who have come to realize basically that there are some things I could do when it comes to real estate investment. And for those I've been able to attend to, thank you for the opportunity. For those who I have not, I also want to apologize. I have some couple of things that I needed to do, and if I have not responded, I believe I must have shared contact of appropriate people that can attend to that. So how can a real estate investment go wrong? Number one, a real estate investment can go wrong when a real estate developer is greedy. A real estate investment can go wrong when a real estate developer does not understand what development should go. A real estate investment can go wrong when a real estate developer don't have all the needed expertise on how to do a thorough development. Now, I have seen different instances, okay, of people coming online. I've watched several videos of investors coming online. These people have been, they've been raising several allegations, and these things have been so bad, to the point that sometimes I would just sit down and I would just think to myself that you guys are educated, you guys are exposed. Even if you are not in the country at the moment, I believe you have stayed a while in the country, and basically you understand the way some people behave. So I honestly don't expect people to fall for those kind of, but you see, it is what it is, and sometimes this kind of thing happen. So how can a real estate investment go on? Number one, when you need to understand basically that there are some real estate development companies who have targets. Yes, they have targets. There are some that their target is the middle class. There are some people that their target is the how do I describe this now? They are just like normal people, normal market people, like the normal average citizens. And there are some people whose target, okay, basically is the rich and the influential. And one basic thing that you need to understand if you're buying real estate in Lagos, Nigeria, basically, is that the industry is saturated. It's saturated in the sense that in one of my videos I said that the real estate industry in Nigeria is the next thing after crude oil. So it's the next thing after crude oil. And I really appreciate the fact that Lagos State government is beginning to wake up to some certain things, and they are beginning to enforce some regulations. I will applaud Lagos State government for that thoughtful idea. But before the intervention of government, a lot of things have gone wrong. A lot of people have fallen victims of situations, your unpleasant situations like this, and you need to understand that the industry is saturated. Everybody wants to sell land. Everybody. It's like it's the next thing after crude oil. So you have to, one of the reasons why I'm making this video basically is for you to have an adequate understanding of what could go wrong if you fall into a bad transaction. That's number one. So a lot of real estate development companies are greedy. Number two, the market is saturated. It's saturated in the sense that you will see people that they were fortunate, sure you get, to have leverage or done real estate as a consultant, and within months these people will just go register company with CAC, and they will tell you basically that they have also started their company. Now, should people go into real estate development? Yes, they can. I'm not an enemy of progress. Basically, yes, you can start real estate development company if you understand what it takes to sustain a real estate development company. So because of the fact that the process of starting up a development company is relatively easy, so you find out that both the experience, the inexperience, the bad, the good, and the ugly are in the business of what's development. So it now becomes extremely difficult, okay, for you to identify who is who. It becomes extremely difficult, and that's why sometimes a lot of, it's quite unfortunate that we have a lot of diasporan investors. Come make me look for my handkerchief. We have a lot of diasporan investors who fall for some of these things, and it's quite sad. It's quite sad, but obviously we're looking at that. So the industry is saturated, and the next thing basically is that many people lack the expertise of development. Now, if you have been following my videos, I've said this several times. My last video, which I made on this channel, of course, if you're on Facebook, I also dropped a link. So if you have not seen that video, I talked about 3 important questions that you should ask the ibeju-lekki real estate developer. Of course, I won't be going into that. Okay, see this. I won't be going into that because I've adequately discussed that in that previous video. So please, you can go back. It's the most recent videos that I just did. Okay, so that video talks about some of the things you need to know basically. So you need to understand those questions, 3 important questions. So I'll just quickly summarize. You need to talk about, number 1, their experience. Number 2, what they want to do. Number 3, the legal backing for what they are doing. Now, listen, a lot of things are happening in Nigeria, not just in Lagos, because if you don't understand some of these things. Now, let me quickly make this public disclaimer. I'm not saying that Pwan real estate company is guilty or whether Scott is right. I'm not here to talk about who is guilty, who is not, who is no. And that basically is not the bone of contention. I've done several videos about real estate scam, and of course you can go check and know. So I'm not here making assertion or making affirmation or consenting to what has been said basically. So we are still looking forward to hear from both parties, and I hope Scott will also be released as soon as possible. So that basically is not the bone of contention. What I'm trying to say in essence basically is that when you are doing real estate development, you have to prioritize the experience of the person selling real estate to you. Now, a lot of people have said, now for the fact that someone have spent 2-3 years or probably 4 years in the industry, that does not mean the person knows what he or she is doing. Now, what you will understand, or what will give you a broader confirmation if the person you are dealing with knows what he's doing, is in their deliveries. For instance, I've raised several questions. I've given several instances of what some companies have done basically. So what you need to understand basically is that if you must partner with a real estate company in Nigeria, the good thing is that the internet is at your disposal. Go and research and see what these people have done in the previous properties they have sold to people. You have to look at that. You have to look at that, because if you don't, and that's why sometimes basically one of the things that I have done over time is to streamline and of course do a critical when it comes to due diligence. I recently changed one of my lawyers that helps us, okay, in doing some of our due diligence. And the reason why I had to change this lawyer basically was that I noticed from, of course, I'm very, very observant. I noticed that this particular lawyer of ours, okay, was having strong affiliation to a particular real estate company. And basically, if you must work with us as a brand, we are not saying you cannot do business, okay, with other real estate companies. Of course, you're a lawyer, but you must not show desire and preference, because if there is a need for us to investigate and do some findings now, because of your closeness to that real estate company, or because of the kind of relationship that must have existed between you and that real estate development company, there are some important informations that you may deliberately hide from us because of your own personal interest. And basically, I just told this particular lawyer, it's nice working with you guys, thank you. And of course, you have to get somebody else that could, somebody that is neutral, because you see, you need to look at this now. What you should do, number one, don't buy from an unproven real estate development company. Number two, prioritize track record of what those people have done in time past. Number three, for the fact that they've been in industry for 3-4 years does not mean they know what they are doing. Because a lot of people say, why should you work with us? We've been in this industry in 5 years, 6 years. Well, they might have been in that industry for that long, but longevity of your activities in the industry does not automatically translate to what? To expertise. I really need to talk about this, because I understood, from experience. There was a particular time of this year that we did a scrutiny. We looked at, okay, product that our real estate investors could be interested in, or product we could recommend. Okay, you can buy this, you can buy this. We sat down with all our team and we began to scrutinize, check these people one after the other. I can tell you that as at that time, we scrutinized 5 real estate companies, because we do them in batches. And out of that batch, 5 real estate, none of them passed our own criteria of integrity test. And that's why I've said it before that you won't see us advertise things because people are advertising. I've said it in one of our videos that we have the experience, we have the expertise, we know how this industry plays. So I'm going to be doing a video very soon. That's why you have to stay to my channel if you're on YouTube, and that's why you have to like and follow me if you're on Facebook, so that you can be getting all these updates. So we did a scrutiny and we scrutinized 10. Out of the 10 real estate, none passed our own integrity test. And that's why a lot of people have walked up to me, a lot of real estate investors have walked up to me and they say, Ade, I saw this property, we're interested. And I'll say, well, it's a very good property, but as far as I'm concerned, I am not selling it. And they were like, what do you mean? Everybody's selling it. Of course, basically, it is very important that you protect your own integrity, so that, because you see, these guys are ready to throw your reputation into the mud. So what is happening between Pwan and Scott Iguma basically is sad. I'm not making affirmation, and let me also quickly make this disclaimer. I'm not saying both parties are right or they are wrong. We believe that the appropriate law enforcement agencies, the court, will be sorted on this matter, and of course from the judgment we'll be able to know who is right and who is wrong. But basically, what you need to understand is that the business of real estate in Nigeria is not a business of you follow crowd. So you have to understand that. Follow crowd in the sense that for the fact that it's been advertised does not mean it's what you need. or does not mean it will pass, your own, how do I say this now? Your own evaluation of what integrity should mean. So we scrutinize. And that is why sometimes I have been bringing offers majorly on the Lagos mainland. Mostly, of course, there are some on this our island, basically. Now, when I talk about our own integrity tests, what are those yardsticks that we use to evaluate? Okay, this is what we sell, this is what we recommend, this is what we do, basically. Time will fail me for me to go into details, to carefully, analyze some of these things. Certainly, time will definitely fail me to do so. However, I will be doing that in subsequent videos. So I have some important videos about land documentation that I intend, to release, this week. So today is Thursday. You can be rest assured that subsequently in other parts of the month, you get to see most of these things. So how can a real estate transaction go wrong? Number one, when you buy from developers who are greedy. Number two, when you prioritize cheapness over quality. Number three, when you don't do your own personal research. And most times people fall into problems or situations, unpleasant situations of scam and the likes, simply because, okay, that they don't research the company they are buying for. And number five, a lot of realtors who recommend properties don't know the industry. They don't know the industry. I'm not talking down on hardworking realtors. Basically, I'm not talking about hardworking realtors. If I were to be um um maybe the governor of Lagos State or somebody who is like a minister, I would open a portal. I will open an online portal where every realtor that is practicing real estate will be on that portal. We have a database of you. So it's not a case of whether you now sell property, there's problem, you run away. No, there will be a database of every other thing. And of course, if you are planning to travel out, you must have passed some important things, because we have seen, unpleasant. So I will personally have a database of every realtors, and I will mandate that every realtor go through some processes of training. There are instances whereby some real estate investors have connected me to their realtors who are making property recommendations, and in my process of interacting with them, I've asked few questions, and I was like, how did this person become a realtor? How? Who? So I will mandate realtors to go through some. You want to practice real estate? Fine, there's no problem. The constitution allows you to practice anything, but there may be some mandatory exams you have to write. Because you see, the reason why we have some of these issues basically is that some people who claim to be realtors don't even understand what's the major difference between a committed land and a not committed land. And when I get to speak with some investors, I'll be asking myself, how did this man is very smart, this man is very intelligent, how on earth did he fall into this kind of, I know the saddest thing basically is that situations like these are avoidable. So sometimes I ask myself, how did this man is intelligent, this woman is nice, this woman seems to be very, very, sincere, she's determined. And my question basically is that how on earth did this kind of person fall inside or getting to know or work or buy property from this kind of person? So the thing is that some realtors don't have an accurate knowledge on how to recommend properties that have passed through the scrutiny of Lagos State government. Now, there's a video that I'll be discussing very soon, and I'll be explaining things that you may not seem to understand. Okay, so these are some of the things that went wrong. Basically, these are some of the things that went wrong, and these are some of the things you can do that can make you lose your property. Now, this is the reality. The reality basically is that going forward, as a real estate investor, what should you do? Should I stop investing in Lagos because of all this scam? Should I rule off even having anything in my own country? Should I stop buying properties? Well, I would say, at the commencement of this video, I also told you that I was a victim. I was scammed. In fact, my own case was worse, that the company that sold to us took us to the place for physical allocation, and we were attacked on site. We are attacked on site that it was by miracle I left that place alive. So after that horrific experience, on my way back home, I was asking that basically that, will this person tell us that he's not aware that the land is selling has been sold to multiple parties? And my question basically was that, who is the person that gave this person license to start practicing real estate? And this particular point leads to the next. We have so many inexperienced MDs in the Lagos State real estate market. And going forward, choosing not to invest or to stop all your investment in Nigeria is not the way forward, basically, because you see, the Lagos State real estate industry has more than what you guys are seeing on social media. The benefits are enormous. The advantages are massive. And people who have reaped the benefits of real estate investments will never advise you not to. More importantly, if you have the resources and the opportunity to do so. Someone who have bought properties, have resold, someone who is making good money from his farmland. Basically, I visited a friend's farm recently, and he told me that in a single month, he has a fish farm, that a single month he made 8 million naira from just 1 pound of fish. So the thing basically is that Nigeria is a very good place to enter, because you see, Nigeria, you experience less tax benefits. You can multiply your investments, you can buy, you can resell, you can do so many things. Sure, you understand. So Nigeria has gotten to a place basically whereby you can make good return on your investment. However, Nigerian real estate company will punish you if you work with the wrong person. So going forward, this is the way forward. Do not invest with sentiment any longer. So when I talk about sentiment, what exactly do I mean by that? Let me start by saying vet the realtor that is making recommendation. Vet the company. Is in fact, how you will know an unserious realtor is when they take you to companies that after checking, you notice that even what they are selling, they don't have the right to do so. Because basically, I believe that before, somebody can say, come and buy land, I believe you have done all the things that will protect the property you're offering me, and that was one of the reasons why I was so disgusted with the company I bought property from. And I was like, are you crazy? Like, do we still have people who still do all this kind of nonsense? So vet the realtor and vet the company. Number 2, going forward, don't just buy only for benefits alone. I understand this may sound a little bit contradictory, but it's not. It's just the fact. Now, when they are poaching any realtor that is showing you benefits and is not showing you a corresponding risk of that investment, run away. Run away. Now, it is also important that if the realtor is making recommendations, basically, which we do, basically, because I'm also a realtor, I sell real estate, but from what I've been able to gather in our years of experience, it is not everybody you should associate with as far as real estate is concerned. Of course, that obviously is the case for another day, so I won't be talking about that today. So when you are vetting the company, what are the 3 important things you should look out for? Now, there's what we call the KPI, which is the key performance index. Now, if you are to use a key performance index to evaluate the performance of a country, of the company, basically your KPI should focus on 2 things. or three things, because I don't want this video to be unnecessarily long. As I'm making this video, I'm taking my time. Now, when you use your KPI, basically, your KPI should focus on number one, delivery. Now, it's quite a lot of people would say, how is that my business? Mine is just for them to buy land, and theirs is to deliver. And because of the fact that a lot of people, okay, have deliberately ignored what they should put into consideration, that's why they find themselves in situations whereby people sell properties to them and it's nothing to show for it. So your key performance number one is on delivery. Go back to what they have done. You can't just say, I want to buy a stuff from a developer and I'm not looking at their track record. So what is now the thing that you are using personally to evaluate how serious the company is? Number two, you should also focus majorly on their integrity. Now, you see, track record and integrity are very, very important. Now, as an investor, now a lot of people, someone reached out to me recently, and this particular brother, of course, if you're in Nigeria, you're in diaspora, you're my brother. They're probably not blood brothers, basically, but basically, I'll just say we are brothers, we know each other. We may not know each other, but as long as you're in Nigeria and you're working and you're making us proud, we are brothers. So that obviously. So this particular person reached out to me, and he was talking about an investment he did, basically, and he mentioned some things. And what was that thing? He said someone introduced that place to him, okay, and they did not check. And these are mistakes that you don't do. You don't buy properties in Nigeria because of course, referrals are good, but you investigate. And that's why sometimes, after I've done my own due diligence and an investor says, okay, I like what you've done, I have seen your papers, I want my lawyers to check. I said, okay, fine, definitely, because there's obviously nothing to hide, so we'll make the documents available. Now, I've seen instances, okay, let me quickly chip this in. I've seen instances whereby some lawyers have approached me, basically, and they said, I will let this transaction fly, and this is what will be my own percentage. Now, I don't do that. Now, I told that particular guy, if you check this thing, okay, and it doesn't worth it, okay, then I think your interest should be more. And simply because of the fact that I refuse to dance to their tone. I've seen instances whereby some lawyers, Nigerian lawyers, some of them, basically, they can be funny. They deliberately frustrated that process of purchase, and because of their own personal greed, they now took that investor to another place, and where they bought today ended up to be a tragedy for them. So I've seen multiple instances whereby the so-called lawyers turns out to be very greedy. So I'm not here to discuss that. And because of the fact that you refuse to yield to their request, they might deliberately want to frustrate that process of purchase. So basically, it happens. So lawyers sometimes too can be funny. Of course, I know we have some quite number of them that they have integrity. So what I'm trying to say in essence, basically, is that always focus on their integrity. Now, a company with integrity will not amass in a single year, amass 15 estates. And these guys have understood that one of the things that can call your attention to, or that can drag your attention basically, is that most of them offers ridiculously cheap prices. Yes, they do. Most of them offers ridiculously prices that they are too good to be true. Now, what I'm trying to say in essence is that when you are investing, basically, I'm not saying that all cheap properties are bad. No. But you must understand the regulations that are in the country. Like, for instance, anybody that is saying, come and buy 1 million naira property in Lagos, you don't need a soothsayer to tell you that that person is a criminal. Anybody that is asking you to, that is pointing untitled properties anywhere in Lagos, you don't need a soothsayer to tell you that that person is your enemy. So that means that as an investor, be conversant with some of the basic regulations that government may be enforcing in that place where you want to buy real estate. It is very, see, basically these are, one of the reasons why we make videos like this. Okay, I have close to 450 something, 480 something videos where I've discussed adequate. See, I don't expect people to still make the same real estate, because you have video guide. Like for instance, if you're on this channel and you have been watching on our videos, or you can just, okay, fine, maybe I have this particular time, I'm going on vacation, I'm spending 1 or 2 weeks. Please, my dear brothers and sisters, we have playlists that is addressing different part of it. We have playlists talking about Lekki properties. We have playlists on title documentation. We have playlists on different aspects. So you are supposed to sit down, understand. This playlist gives you a recent information on government regulations for that particular place you may be looking for to own your investment. So if you now make mistakes, basically it is I would say lack of information, and that obviously is not an excuse, because a lot of real estate consultancy firms are making educative videos. So you need to understand that. So finally, it is very, very wrong to buy because of price, because sometimes too good to be true offers are like baits that is being used, okay, to attract real estate investors. Now, I'm not saying that Pwan is guilty, and I'm not saying that Scott is wrong. Basically, things like this happens, but I would say basically that I admire the rate at which this guy is vocal. He has demmed all the circumstances of what could happen. Basically, he has done that, and trust me, I would say basically that is vocal. Whether he's right, whether he's wrong, of course, we will leave the law enforcement and of course the courts, if they eventually approach one, to be the decider of who is guilty and who is not. So I'm not here to say they are this and this and this. According to him, they are allegedly, they are evidences, and of course he has put some of these evidences. So I think what P1 should now do basically is that they should also structure their own legal team and let them go to the court of law. Let the court decide who is guilty and who is not. So that's basically what I would say. So these are the basic things you need to know. So I'm going to take a brief pause now. I need to use the restroom. Just stay on this live session. I'll be back. I need to use the restroom. Just give me like 5 minutes. I'll be back. So this AC is not, this light is not carrying the AC. I'm not on the AC. It's not carrying, the light is low. All right, you're welcome back. You're welcome back. Thank you for your patience. I appreciate that. Sorry, I needed to use the restroom. I was pressed. All right, you're welcome back. Thank you very much for everybody that's been following us. So I'll be going very quickly now to the question and answer session, and I'm going to quickly attend to some of these very quickly. So I have a lot of questions on my WhatsApp, and I believe this question and answer will also give us further information about this, and I can't wait to start receiving your questions, answers. So I have some here already. So with the little time we have left, because I don't want this video to be unnecessarily long, we are going to look at what we can do very quickly and the ones I can attend to. and basically give my own word of advice, so that we can, have, a thorough knowledge about this. Now, I'm also going to be talking about what could have been some problems that must have happened, um, and why a lot of where most of the real estate. Of course, so the final part of this video is that I'm going to be talking extensively on where some real estate got it wrong. I'm going to be talking about some of the challenges. Of course, these obviously are not excuses, because you have collected money from people, you have been paid, you have done some couple of things, and when situations like this go wrong, I believe it is, you don't need to wait, okay, for people to start saying, give me what I paid for, give me this. No, it's totally wrong. So even if there was issue, I believe you have a public relation a public relation department that is supposed, okay, to channel all these important informations to people. So it is very important that you do so. So you should keep people. Even there are some people that have sold I bought property from, and these guys have been currently, because I'm also an investor. So we should also know that I'm also an investor, and a lot of people have been asking, okay, how were you able to gather some of this experience? Of course, we gathered this experience from life. Most of the things I've explained, most of the things I've shared are life realities, some of the things that have happened. So I've had real estate companies, the people we bought property from, send us an email, okay, this is what is going on, but we're trying to address this. And in some cases whereby some of these issues are unresolvable, what most of them do basically is that they reallocate, basically. So, and they do this, they don't put the expense of that. So I would say what both parties should have done, basically, more importantly, if you're a real estate developer in Lagos, Nigeria, and of course, things like this happen. So it is very important that you keep your investors in the notice. Don't keep them in the dark. Don't say, okay, thank God they did not know, so I'm going to manage the situation. No, that's basically unethical. So you should, keep your investors involved, and so that they can know. So should I be worried as a real estate investor? So I'm going to be taking some questions. So okay, I bought a property from Pwan in 20. Okay, I bought a property from Pwan in 2019 in Odiomi, and I was told there's a coastal road. Is my investment safe? Okay, I am in no position to come online to say your investment is safe, your investment is not safe, because there is an ongoing case now that the company is involved in. And I would say that what you need to do, probably if you are not in the country, there are some couple of people that have gone to check their properties, and I don't say this thing is this is, I just do a live video, they get to see, and of course I'll leave them to make that decision. So what you should need to do, basically, because in the Odiomi axis right now, there's a coastal road, and some places have been affected. Whether your estate is affected or not, I honestly don't know, but I would say you should visit the place. If you are not in the country, get a friend or a relative or somebody you trust to go and check and confirm. The only thing you just do is that send them, if you have been allocated, this is where you also need to send some copies of your land documents to them, so that it will enable the person to easily navigate that location. So you want to look at that. So whether the property is there or not, I obviously cannot affirm or say that. So we have to be careful of what we see online, because there are legal tussles, and that's why I started this by making the disclaimer that I'm not saying P1 is fraudulent. I'm not saying Scott is right. I'm not judging. I'm just giving a general instances of what real estate development has been. And another thing basically is that the name flying now is P1. I can categorically tell you that there are some companies that have done something similar. So we just be rest assured that the names will start flying up. I think what is happening, according to what Mr. Scott has said, he said is a movement. So if it's a movement and it is that strong, you can be rest assured that it will birth several other movements. So basically, so that's just one of the things I think I should talk about. So whether your land is safe or not, I am in no position to affirm that. So please, you can make adequate arrangement for you or your representative to go and see. And in situation whereby anything happens, try as much as possible to do that. So, okay, this is a comment from someone I like so much. The person said, you made a video about untitled properties, and that has helped me a lot. Thank you very much, Ade. You are doing a great job. Okay, I kind of appreciate that. This actually giving me goosebumps. That obviously is on a lighter note. I like when I get words of appreciation from people. Um, when they say I'm doing a great job, it motivates me to do more. Thank you very much. Okay, should I mention your name? Thank you very much, Mr. Shane. This means a lot to us as a company. Thank you very much. We appreciate this, and we'll promise to keep doing more and more and more. All right. So when you are buying, whether it's in Lagos, dear real estate investors, if you are buying, beware of cheap properties. More importantly, if you are Lagos is not a place now whereby they will say a property has a freehold and you buy. Lagos is not a place now when they tell you a property has excision in process and you buy. No. Lagos is not a place where they tell you what we have is just survey and you buy. Now, there was a particular time in the history of Lagos whereby if you go to places like Epe, ibeju-lekki, Odiomi, and those interior part of ibeju-lekki and Epe, when you have, even if it's just registered survey, there was a particular time in history whereby the registered survey is sufficient. Now, the trajectory of events has changed. There have been significant development, okay, on this axis. Now, let me quickly tell you that I'll also be doing video with some developers on the mainland. I'm going to be talking about Crestview. I'm going to be doing a video with them. Some of our videos that will be coming in are interviews with the experts. You don't get to hear it from my mouth anymore. You get to hear it from experts, probably people who are renowned and of course who are experts in that profession. You get to hear from them. So basically, these are some of the things I'll be talking about. And also, I would also be looking at other parts of real estate investment. But what I'm trying to say basically is that if you must buy Lagos, if you cannot afford to buy a gazetted excision, a C of O, a governor's consent, government allocation, blah, 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 please, for God's sake, go to the places that are border towns with Lagos. I'm going to say it again. If you must invest in Lagos and you cannot afford a gazetted excision, a government allocation, a C of O, a governor's consent, please, Lagos is not the best place to buy untitled properties. You see, one of the reasons why majority of these real estate companies are having issues basically is that many of them made erroneous mistakes that is affecting them to date. Now, there is a general assertion whereby they say that as long as the land has its freehold, it is sufficient. That used to be the story then, but now everything has changed. If you don't have a title in Lagos, you don't have a land. I'm going to be doing a video on land documentation. You are going to learn enough from that video, and we're going to look at some of the things we can do. Some of the things I'll be explaining. You're going to learn a lot, I can assure you. And this is why you have to be part of this YouTube channel and of course this Facebook. This is why you have to be part of it. Now, I'm going to explain a lot of things, okay, that you need to know about government land regulation in Lagos. A lot of people don't understand it, and this could be a reason why many people have been making errors consistently, not once, not twice, not twice. So I'm going to be talking about land regulation very soon in one of my videos, and of course I'll make it available to you. Now, if you cannot afford 20, 30, 15 or any prices that real estate is selling, and all you can afford is a 3.5, is a 5 million, is a 6 million, be rest assured that with that price, you can't get a title property in Lagos. So I think we should be wise and smarter enough now not to fall for some gimmicks or some manipulations anymore with some of the things that is happening. You should know. You don't need a soothsayer to tell you that 10 million cannot get you a titled land, except if it's a distress sale. And sometimes too, if it's a distress, you also need to be mindful of some distress sales that you are buying, because sometimes some places have been marked for demolitions, and what happens basically is that the seller wants to quickly cash in so that it doesn't lose on both ends, and sometimes they put most of these distress sales on investors. So basically, you also want to look at that as well, and these are some of the things that you want to be mindful of. So Lagos is not a place whereby you want to buy a distress sale. Lagos is not a place where you want to buy a distress sale. You need to understand Lagos is a place whereby you want to be careful on what is being thrown at you. So I want to quickly state by stating that. Now the next thing, so if you cannot afford, if you don't have a 15 million to buy a C of O in, okay, we have a project in the ibeju-lekki International Airport, a C of O land for 15 million. We have one for 18 million, C of O. So there are some properties that are within that range that have titles that I have verified. And of course, if you want your lawyer to verify, will make it available, that you can buy, that you can sleep with your two eyes closed, and you won't have problem. Now, the thing is that a lot of realtors have come to this knowledge, basically, that people always look for cheap things, and that's why a lot of people keep falling into wrong hands. So Lagos is not a place, even a land that has 7 and they tell you is C of O5. Me, I will not come here and say 5 C of O5 number in Lagos. Do you understand? So if you cannot afford all these prices, go to border towns. Border towns like the Ogun State, the Epe Ijebu-Ode axis, the Ijebu-Ode Ogun axis. So border towns give you an opportunity to buy at a reduced price, and I can tell you, those states they have opened their hands wide to have people invest. And that's why you've noticed that the land regulations in some of these states are not rigid. And that is why a lot of people have run to places like Ibadan, the Abeokuta, the likes. Basically, I personally have several properties in Abeokuta that I have bought. Yeah, I bought them cheap. So, and I can tell you basically that I sleep with my two eyes closed, because I have come to understand basically that a lot of real estate companies cannot afford what it takes to protect what they are selling to you in Lagos. They can't. See, Lagos real estate is beyond what you are being told. So if you want to own real estate, see, it is unrealistic basically for someone to tell you you get a land for 5 million. A lot of people still approach me and they will say, I was like, is it that you guys don't learn your lesson? 5 million in Lagos, 7 million in Lagos, who will sell it to you? You want to buy a land that you can build, and some people will say 20 million. You can't even see in some locations. So you have to be realistic, and these are some of the reasons why I've said it is very important that you understand some of these regulations, so that circumstances like this does not happen to you all the time. So go to border towns. The Mowe axis is a fantastic location. In fact, I have a friend of mine that was supposed to run some property inspection, and I was waiting for him that, guy, what's happened? He said, my guy, I cannot afford. My landlord just called me in one of my 1-bedroom apartments at Uguji, and they said I'll be paying 2.8, and he said that I don't earn that much. So he went to Arepo. Arepo is a border town between, Arepo is Ogun State, but it's like let's say 20-25 minutes. From 20-25 minutes on your Arepo road, you are in Bega in Lagos. You are in Bega. From Bega, in less than 7-8 minutes, you are in Ikeja. So right now, border towns offer affordable real estate, and if you must buy border town, buy with developers that will perfect, so that what is happening in Lagos will not be applicable there. But at the moment, border town does not give you problem. So you can buy Mowe or Fada. You can go to Omu, Ogun State. You can go to Ijebu-Ode, Epe. You can go to, all these places. So border town allows you opportunity to buy in acres and you enjoy the luxury. So if anybody is saying, me, I will not even sell for you, see over 5 million. I can't, if I even in Epe. So if you are insisting that that's what you want, then I'll categorically tell you I don't got that, and I'm not going to give that to you. So please go to border town and explore the real estate opportunities that are there. So I'm going to take further questions. If you have questions, I want to quickly appreciate everybody that is on this live stream. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I don't take your presence for granted, despite the fact that I didn't even make notifications that I will coming online today, and I have this kind of engagement. Thank you. I appreciate that. For those who have liked and shared, thank you. Of course, if you have not subscribed, come on now, be part of the Property Matters. Don't you like all these important information that we're gisting? And of course, there is many more to come. So thank you very much. I appreciate this. So let us have this live session again by tomorrow. Let's have this live session by tomorrow, by God's grace. I'm going to try as much as possible to start by 4 p.m. Okay, we're going to have this live session by 4 p.m. And if you are a real estate investor, you still want to invest in Lagos, let me quickly start by saying I have 3 teams of lawyers, 2 licensed surveyors. So your investment, we understand the rudiments, we understand the regulations. And sometimes too, we have sources in some important offices in Lagos, and of course